Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy and today we're going to be doing my May wrap up. I actually ended up listening to most of these books except for two. Well, one is actually not a book, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But we'll go ahead and jump into that. I'll talk about my little cozy mystery first. This was Gluten for Punishment by Nancy J. Para. I really enjoyed this little book. So much fun reading it, and it was one of those like just fun little cozy reads, and I kept wanting to pick it up and read about it. So our main character is, her name is Tony, and she is a baker. She's from a little town called Oiltop, Kansas. But anyway, she's been doing business online and delivering to whoever places online orders, and now she decided, since she's going to be in her hometown for, I guess, for a good while, she's going to go ahead and open up this bakery. Well, a local wheat farmer is not very excited about a gluten-free bakery coming to town because he thinks no wheat is evil. You should have wheat in your diet. Doesn't understand the fact that some people are truly allergic to wheat or are sensitive to it. Well, he ends up getting murdered, and right in front of her little shop. While she's there, actually, she gets there pretty early in the morning, and she puts on loud music, of course, so she never heard anything. And when she goes out, I believe, like to open up her store, she finds him dead in the front in like a trough of water or something. So she doesn't know if he at first she thinks like he was a drunk and like he fell over and like he's in this trough. Maybe he's still okay. You know, she tries to like wake him up and then realizes that he is actually dead. So, of course, she is the prime suspect, of course. That's the only thing that kind of annoyed me about this book. Like, the police never really looked anywhere else. They did not even have anybody else in mind. They, like, just interrogated her the entire book. That was the only thing that really, like, bugged me. Because I'm like, shouldn't you have possible other suspects, you know, like even though like he was the one that was against her bakery, he had a lot of other people that did not care for him. So he was not well liked. I think his name was George or something like that. And she finds out that a lot of people dislike him. So there are other suspects out there, and the police just do not look into that. But besides the little mystery that we have going on here, we have like other things happening. So she has like a best friend that owns a B&B and has an autistic child who has sensitivities to food. So, of course, like, Tony caters to his needs and things like that. And her best friend starts dating a guy. So there's that little story. There's a story in there as well. And then there's also a little love triangle between our main character, Tony, and two other guys that are in the book. Like, one is actually like her attorney, and that she has to end up getting because she becomes the suspect of it. And other murders start to happen. Maybe just one other murder happens. So she decides to hire an attorney because it's just getting, it's just getting out of hand. So yeah, so of course the attorney, he's like, once this is over, I think we should go on a date or something like that. And then, of course, she has, like, this other guy that first came into her shop looking for treats for his grandmother's card party or poker party. I don't remember what game they were playing, but so anyway, so there's that little love triangle there. So there's a lot happening. You have her mystery story, trying to find out who actually did it, because she obviously did not do it. And then you have her best friend's little story, and then you have like the little love triangle going on. So just a lot going on. Also, she has like a super funny grandma. She's so funny, like a hardcore smoker. But she kind of like helps Tony out. She used to be like a reporter back in her day, so she's kind of helping Tony out. And there's also, she has a brother that actually lives with her in the home. So there's a little story there. So it's just a lot going on. It keeps you interested, and it's not just like just all trying to figure out who done it. There's a lot of other little fun little stories going around, and I really enjoyed how the author did that, and how everything in the end just kind of pulled through, and it kind of like just came all together. So I think at first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the next one, but I think I am, just to see what happens with Tony and, you know, how her life progresses in her little town of Oiltop, and all the other little stories that that were introduced in this book. So a very good first mystery in this little series is called A Baker's Treat Mysteries. I gave it 4 stars only because I felt like the police needed more suspects. You know, I just felt that was really my only little pet peeve in there. So I gave that one 4 stars. The other ebook that I read, I'm gonna call it an ebook because that's what it's gonna be. It's not gonna actually be an ebook. It's called The Understudy, and it was written by multiple authors. The main author, well, I say main author, but the author that I like, one of my favorite mystery psychological thriller authors is B.A. Paris. I actually enjoyed all her books that I've read so far. So she's one of the authors of The Understudy. I got it as an e-arc. It's from Serial Box. So Serial Box is a website that you can go to that is, it's very much kind of like I guess like a Netflix kind of thing, but it's for books instead of shows. So you have series, but they're in book form. So you read them instead of watch them. Kind of makes sense. There is like a fee. You can either pay monthly, which is discounted at like a 20% rate, or you can pay by episode. And the episodes, I kind of like got it as like chapters, but they actually like are super long. So there were 10 episodes in this first, in the first season, I guess. And I can definitely see after reading this, I can definitely see like it progressing and going on to, you know, like other seasons. I'm not affiliated with Serial Box whatsoever. I don't get nothing from this. They just sent me the arc, and so I'm here just to rate and review it and give you my honest opinion. I thought it was very good. I enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars just because it kept me wanting to go back. And there was just lots of characters and lots of stories and lots of little twists and turns, and that's what keeps me interested, especially in a psychological thriller. And I wasn't expecting the ending at all, but I'm very different like that. A lot of psychological thrillers are just thrillers that I read and I see other people read in their reviews. They say they figure it out. I can never figure these things out. Sometimes I can, or sometimes I have an idea, but other than that, I'm clueless. But this one, okay, I'm not gonna say like it truly threw me off, because one of the characters I kind of suspected, but there was another character that was thrown in there that I really like, because this character really wasn't too much of a main character, and I was just like, how interesting. So, and at the end I could like see where they're going as far as like with like the series and things like that. But it was really cute. So okay, so there's like this performing arts school. So, and it is set in like the England, London area. But you have a mother, so you have like the mothers and the daughters, and you have one mother and daughter that have come from the States to go to this school. But there's a reason that they left the States to go to this school, which, you know, if you go and read it, you'll find out. If you'd like for me to do a book talk about it and with spoilers and everything, I'll be happy to do that. Just leave me comments down below just letting me know to do that. I will be happy to talk further about it. But there was so much in here, because there's so many, there's like, I want to say like it's like 4 mothers and their daughters. Yes, it's 4 of them, and they all have like different personalities. So you have your one mother that has like the high paying job, and she's like the CEO of her company, and basically like she hires out for everything, and you know, so her child is not like rambunctious, but like just, you know, like whatever, you know, my mom doesn't care, like she doesn't know what I do kind of thing. Then you have like maybe like your 1950s mother that is all about like having your child, like just making sure her husband's taken care of, daughter's taken care of, that kind of mother. Then you have like The other two are kind of almost the same, but yet different. The other two mothers, and then you have like the girls and their little stories and their little cat fights. But basically, things start to kind of happen to the girls. It's mainly things happen to like mostly like two of the girls, maybe one more than the other, and they kind of like start like maybe like looking at each other like, are you doing this to me? And so they kind of form like maybe little cliques within each other, and then the mothers form like little cliques within each other. You know, it's just a lot. It was really fun to read. I enjoyed it very, very much. Go check it out and on Cereal Box if you're interested in it. I'll put Cereal Box link down below. Like I said, you can either pay monthly or you can just pay by episode. Say you just want to go read the Understudy. So you would just go on there and you can just, no, I don't think it's not monthly. I take that back. I'm so sorry. It's either you pay for the whole episode or you pay for each, you pay for the whole season or you pay for each episode. So you get 20% off if you just buy the whole, like, basically first 10 chapters of the book. Yeah, but there's an app also. But I will link Cereal Box down below if you want to check it out, or if you'd like to hear me talk more about it, just let me know in the comments below. Okay, moving on, because this is already seems like it's going to be a long video, so I need to pick up my pace. Okay, so my next 3 books I listened to. I started off, no, one I listened to the whole, 2 of them I listened to the whole thing. 1 of them I started off reading and then decided I wanted to check out the audiobook, but I'll let you know why. So I'll start off with Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Beautiful book. Beautiful book. Beautiful book. This is a young adult fantasy. I don't really know what to say about this book. I thought it was well written. The storyline was there, the plot was there, you know, I totally get it, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know if it's just that I'm not into fantasy right now, because I have another fantasy that we'll talk about at the end of this. But I was trying to decide whether I want to give it 3 stars or 4 stars. In the beginning, I gave it 4 stars because there's nothing wrong with this book. It's all on me. There's nothing wrong with this book. It was, like I said, very well written. I get it. The story was phenomenal. The narrator, Bonnie Turpin, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but she was phenomenal. So I definitely, like on Audible, I gave her 5 stars because just her narration was just out the water. I mean, it was like on it. The overall story, I would, like, with the narrator in mind, I would give a 4. But in my opinion, just how uninterested, like, I just could not get myself into it. So 3 stars for me. So that's kind of how I'm rating it. You can take that as you will. I know there's a lot of people out there that actually, I mean, this book is highly, highly rated and talked about. But if you're not a big fantasy person, you'll probably be like me and you'll just probably not be that into it. So just a little quick little review about it. Not review, but just like what it was about. So you have your main character, which is Zélie. I believe it is how you say it. Okay, so a long time ago, there was like magic in this world. Or this world of Aisha, or whatever it's called. Oisha. Like, it's gonna be hard for me to talk about because I kept, like, just losing interest in it. Magic was lost years ago. And so now she's basically gone on an adventure with her brother and an escaped princess to have magic reborn into this world. And it all has to do around, like, it all kind of goes around like this scroll of magic. So like when a magi touches the scroll, if you have magic in you and you touch the scroll, your magic will start to return. But it's not going to be, from what I understood, it's not going to be like full force magic until like the whole, like, until like the spell is done for magic to come back into this world. Which I totally get, and like I said, it was like I got a very good storyline, plot. It was all there. And then you have like your king of Oisha, who is a total asshole, and he's the one that pretty much like wiped magic out. And then you have his son, which is the prince, and then the daughter, which is the princess. The daughter kind of witnessed a very traumatic thing to her, and she ended up like running away basically. And the son, the prince, is training basically to become the king. So he has to go out and look for the princess with his own army. And so it's basically like his army chasing Zélie and her brother and the princess. And but there's, you know, a lot more stories going, and there's, you know, like little love stories that start to happen, and just a lot of other characters that they meet along the way. Like I said, very, very good story. I just personally was not into it. I don't think I'll probably pick up the next book that comes out, I think at the end of this year, like in December of this year of 2019. I don't know. We'll see. I might just be curious to see what happens to Zélie and her little crew. But other than the fact that I just could not get into it, I thought it was well done. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Next up, I want to talk about Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett. I really enjoyed this little book. I heard a couple people say, or saw a lot of reviews that were just not into this one as much as they were into Starry Eyes. I read Starry Eyes, which is the reason I picked this up, by Jen Bennett, and I really love that one. So I don't have that one with me. I loaned it out to my best friend Debbie, but the book itself is beautiful. But I do recommend Starry Eyes, and I recommend Alex Approximately. I think this was such a fun little read. Definitely a good summer read because it is based like in summer. So it starts off with like our main character Bailey. She is going to be moving to Los Angeles to be with her father. You don't get much background about I take that back. You kind of do get a little bit of why. But the only thing that really bugged me about this book was that like the mother was not there. Like there was nothing said about the mother or why. Like she never even checked up on her child, on Bailey. It was just weird. Like, what's up with the mother? You know, that's what I wanted to know. What was going on with the mother? But you don't really get that. So that was really my only pet peeve about that. But it starts off with like she has like a little online friend named Alex, and they kind of like have the same interest. They're both movie buffs, so they talk. They always talk back and forth about movies and kind of form like a little relationship like online. And you know, he lives in Los Angeles, so you know, he's always saying, so if you do come live with your dad, let me know so we can like meet up and, you know, meet each other. She's not really into that, but she does end up going live with her dad. So she basically tries to find Alex on her own. But that's not really like what the whole book is. So, but you do get like her little summer adventure. Like when she does move in with her father, she gets like a little summer job at like this museum or whatnot. And she befriends like this super cute little English girl called Grace. And then there's like another kind of like annoying guy that they become not like haters to lovers kind of thing. I guess maybe so, because in the beginning they like not really care for each other, and then they begin like to grow into each other. And so then she kind of starts to feel bad. What was his name? Oh, his name is Porter. So she kind of starts to feel bad that you know, like she's starting to fall for Porter, and then she kind of has Alex that she's not, they're not in a relationship. It's just that they talk, and they haven't been talking much because he's kind of mentioned that he's busy, and then she's saying that she's busy kind of thing. It's super, super cute, super, super cute. I'm not going to say any more about it just because I'll probably end up giving it away. But I would highly recommend this for a summer read. It's definitely a young adult sort of fiction. Little romance there. Yeah, I'd say it. Yeah, definitely romance, but more just fun summer teenage happiness happening here. It was just really fun for me. The narrator, I did not care for. I gave this 4 stars. just because the whole mother thing bothered me. I would recommend reading this book rather than listening to it. The narrator was, I don't remember who the narrator was. I didn't write it down. Shame on me. But anyway, yeah, I gave this 4 stars on Goodreads. You can go check out all my reviews on all these books. I'll have my Goodreads link down below. So that was that one. Next up, we have The Mister by E.L. James. I buddy read this one with my best friend Debbie. If you want us to do like a book talk together, I think that would be super fun. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to know or hear more about The Mister. I thought it was very, very much like 50 Shades of Grey, because you have your damsel in distress kind of chick, and then you have like your billionaire guy, I guess. But he's not Christian Grey. There's no like BDSM kind of thing in here. He's mainly just like, I want to say like a player. He's getting around. He is getting around. But then all of a sudden, this girl comes around. She's actually like his cleaner. And when he first like sees her, it's kind of like instant lust. Like all he can think about is like her and like wanting her. So therefore he doesn't want to do anybody else. That sounds horrible. But it was okay. I gave it 3 stars. Did I give it 3 stars? Maybe 4 stars, 3 or 4 stars. I can't really decide how I feel about it. Another similarity to 50 Shades of Grey was the fact that, you know, she was a virgin as well. She's from like Albania, so she's foreign. So that's what made me want to listen to the audio book. Can't get it out. But I decided to try Scribd this month. Your first month is free. It's $8.99. This is not like an advertisement or anything. I'm not associated with them at all. I just wanted to throw it out there. If you're a big audio book listener, $8.99 and it's unlimited. Unlike like Audible, even though Audible has, like, I'm keeping my Audible just because I can get anything I possibly want on Audible. On Scribd, it's, you know, you can't get everything. So there's that. But there's still just lots of stuff that you can listen to monthly without having to pay an extra fee if you run out of credits, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying it out, see how many like books that because I listen a lot while I work. So I just wanted to try it out and see if it benefited me any. But anyway, so I figured I'd go. They did have The Mister, so that's what like urged me to like go ahead and give it a go. And there's 2 narrators here, so there's a male and a female. The female is Jessica O'Hara, and the male is Dominique Thorburn. They did great jobs. So after I actually started listening to it, I actually like wanted to listen to it. It got more interesting for me. So a lot of books like that's, you know, like Alex Approximately, I think I would have rather read it than listen to it because it didn't like the narrator. But as I was reading this, I kind of got bored because the beginning was good because there was a lot of sexual tension in the beginning. But then like in the middle, it was just like repetitious kind of thing, just them being together. And then it finally starts to pick up pace. So when it started to lull in that middle part, I was like, let me see how I feel about the audio version. I really like the audio version. I highly recommend that one if you want to read The Mister, but you're kind of like on the iffy, like, oh, this is so gonna be 50 Shades of Grey. I get it because that's kind of how I was, but I was still curious to see how similar it would be. And there are a lot of similarities, but it's still its own little story. And it actually ended up to be a pretty good little story. And I'm wondering if there's going to be like another book after this. That's how it kind of left me. I mean, I can see how it can end, but it kind of leaves you hanging just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. Not like extremely, but I can see where there can be more to this, what do I want to say? It's not a series, because I don't even know if she has any, you know, if she's going to continue writing about these characters. Oh, did I even say who the character names were? So the guy is Maxim, and the girl is Alicia. His brother passes away, and that's not like a spoiler because you get that right in the beginning. So his brother was pretty much like the Earl of Trevelyan, or I don't know. So his brother passes away, so he kind of, he gets that title. So he has to perform all, the Earl-like duties. So, he's a billionaire, okay? But anyway, you get my point. So there's the similarities kind of thing, but it's different. It's similar but different. I guess I'm gonna leave it at that. I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed it in the beginning. Like I said, there's a lot of sexual tension. It was fun to read, and then it kind of dropped off for me. But then once it picked back up and I started listening to the actual audio and the characters just came to life for me, I actually started enjoying it a lot more. Okay, let me talk about An Easy Death real quick. An Easy Death by Charlaine Harris is a sort of, I guess, like a paranormal type read. I actually did not enjoy this book. Even though I listened to it, and I actually like this narrator. Her name is Eva Kominsky. I've listened to her before. I mean, she's not phenomenal, but she's okay. But I just didn't, even listening to this book, I didn't like it, which I was very disappointed because I love all of Charlaine Harris's work so far. Anyway, I mean, I can't think of one that I didn't enjoy. I was just really disappointed. So I don't even know what to tell you about this book. It's like a huge like apocalyptic type era, I guess. Charlaine Harris writes a lot of like paranormal type stuff, like vampires and werewolves and witches and things like that. So in this book, we have witches. So our main character, I can't remember her name, but she is like, in this time, you have to like find a job to make. I mean, yeah, obviously you got to find a job to make money. Obviously, Amy, but I mean, it's tougher in this time. So you kind of make do with what you can and what your skills are. And there's a lot of like trading and things like that. Refrigerators are like, that's like a big deal. Like if you have a refrigerator in your home, you are doing well for this era. So anyway, I don't remember our main character's name. I'm so sorry. That's how like much I did not like pay attention to this book. Like it was kind of like in the background while I was working, and I was trying to like get the whole thing. I didn't even like feel like I liked where the storyline went. I kind of lost the plot. I don't even know. It has something to do with like her father, and these two witches came to her. She's called a gunny, so she's very good with a gun, and she's basically hired out to protect people. The beginning is sort of disturbing. There's like rape involved, and I'm not really into that. I mean, it was readable. I read through it. It's fine. Sometimes, a lot of times I'll skip over that if that's in a book, like if it's minor. It was very, very minor in this book. But that was kind of disturbing to me, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. But she was hired, and she had other people with her. But they ended up getting killed. Like this happens in the very beginning of the book. Like all her like people that she worked with, like for protection purposes that she's hired for, they all got killed in this situation that happens in the beginning. She's the only one that remains alive. Anyway, so after this traumatic event that, she went through, she's hired by these two witches to protect them while they go on this journey for what? I don't know. They're on a journey to find someone, and I believe it turns out to be like her father. I got kind of lost in the whole thing. I didn't like it. If you liked it, I'm happy you liked it, because I don't like the fact that I didn't like one of Charlaine Harris's books. So this is the start of a new series of hers, and I don't think I will be continuing it at all. I just didn't like it, so I can't even tell you any more about it. That's about all I know. The last book I want to talk about is a gay romance, Filthy Little Secret by Devin McCormick. Also, if you watch my June TBR, you'll learn that Devin McCormick is my favorite gay romance author. He's also gay. So Filthy Little Secrets is about Tim and I think his name Mark. Tim and Mark's romance. Tim is a drug dealer who is sort of planting himself in college to sell his drugs to college students, and he like goes around on weekends to college parties and sells his drugs there. Like he has his clients, and he has his student clients, I guess you could say. And Mark is one of the students going there. He is the son of a politician. His mom is the governor, I want to say, of I guess their little town. I think that's what it is. I think she's the governor. His father is like a psychiatrist. But anyway, Mark lost his sister years ago, and so that's kind of been like an issue with him. He was recently in a relationship that was ended by the other partner, which I think his name was Greg. It's been a while since I've read this one. I actually got it on Kindle, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's free to read. So his ex-boyfriend broke up with him. So the book kind of starts out with that, and he's at a party, and he's just like feeling like the lowest of the low that he can possibly feel, and he knows like Tim has a reputation of like loving him and leaving him kind of thing. So he sees Tim at this party, and he's kind of like leads him to, like, I'm just frustrated and I want to get like this frustration out of me, and I want you to be the one that's going to help me do this. So that's kind of how their relationship starts, I guess. And Tim is one that not to get involved with anybody because of what he does. He doesn't want to like bring his partner down with him into that kind of, that kind of state, like a drug dealer kind of situation. So he makes a point not to have any relationship with any of his conquest, I guess. And Mark knows that, so he went into this knowingly. But their relationship starts to kind of progress, and they kind of like lean on each other, and then they kind of start to like really like each other. It's a sweet gay romance. I absolutely loved it. I loved their story. It wasn't a hate to love kind of relationship, because they didn't really know each other. They knew who each other were. And in the beginning, I guess it was kind of a hate thing, because Tim actually like hates all his clients, I guess, all of them, rich, bratty college kids, and and he kind of put Mark into that category. But of course, Mark is nothing like that. He's a very genuine guy. He's trying to make it on his own without like his parents paying for anything. So Mark Tim becomes like just intrigued with him, and so it's a very cute little love story, very passionate. Like all their time together was just like super just intense and just passionate. I don't know what it was, it was great. It was such a good story. I absolutely highly recommend it. If you're into gay romances, definitely try it out. Filthy Little Secret by Devin McCormick. I gave it 5 stars, of course, because I absolutely loved it. And one last book. I actually did not finish reading this book. I got probably halfway through. It's called, it's The Disasters by PC Cass and Kristen Cass. I had mentioned in my May TBR that I sort of really wanted to try to get to this. I'm actually struggling with it, y'all. I'm not loving it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just I'm out of my fantasy phase right now, and so it's just not interesting to me. I don't know what it is. I mean, the writing's great. I mean, the storyline, the plot, everything. I like it, and I'm on chapter 14. It's starting to get a little bit better. I did try to get it on Audible to see if maybe that could do something for me, but I hate the narrator, and I don't like to say that word, but I really don't like, I shouldn't say hate, I really don't like the narrator. I think I actually might return the audiobook, because I'm even more uninterested in it. So I'm gonna pick this up back in July and just actually read it and see how I feel from there. So I'll let you know more about this in July. Okay, so that's all I have for you this month. That it seemed like I've been talking forever. But yeah, I'll have links to everything that I read in the month of May down below. And don't forget to check out my June TBR. And I started vlogging my June reading. Also, come follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm mostly at. I post a lot of book pictures on there, so come follow along with me so you can see what I'm reading. So anyway, yes, thank y'all so much for watching. As always, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of what's coming up, my vlog, more books to read. So happy reading, y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.